From humble beginnings to learning from your failures to becoming a great success. What is your success story? Chip Baker, The Success Chronicles. What's your definition of success?
What's up, everybody? This is Chip Baker coming to you with another episode of the Success Chronicles. And I got my man Donnell Harrison here with us today. Let's start off. If you want to kind of tell how we know each other, you want to tell that story?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. 1996.
Man, that's been a couple of years.
Dude, a long time. I got a scholarship offer to come to West Texas A&M. Came down. There was this dude walking to the hall, had this hat on, just strolling. I'm like, who is this cat right here? Didn't know who he was. And turned to look up. Walked in, like, what's up, Joe? And I said, what's up? Yeah. I said, what's your name, man? He said, my name Chip. I said, oh. I said, your name Chip? My name is Donnell, man. I'm from Chicago. And so, ever since that day, we've been friends.
Yeah.
From day one, even to my last year at WT.
Mm-hmm.
When we started working out together.
Yep.
And to be honest, I'm still doing the pyramid.
There it is right there.
People don't know, man. That stuff still works, man. It gets you strong. Yeah. And it's been a good friendship. I remember one time I was in need of my highlight tape. And my kids had recognized when they were little. I had reached out to you, asked you, like, do you still have a copy of my highlight tape? And somehow or another, you had it, man, and it was crazy. I got it, and it helped me out, man. I was able to go to Australia and play.
Yeah, so it was good times, and I've said this. I've interviewed a couple guys from WT as well, and it was just a good group of guys there.
Yeah, I don't know what it was about that 96, 98 year.
Yeah.
Those years were some good years, man. I think I developed most of my friendships, when I was there, man. I think it was a critical time for me because I'd never been that far away from home. That's the first thing.
Right.
But to, develop that brotherhood.
Yes.
I should say the Buffalo Brothers.
There it is. The gathering of the Buffalo.
That's right, man. We need that. We really do need that for real.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it really helped me to develop as a young man at that time, man. It did, and I'm thankful for that.
Oh yeah, thankful for the relationship. And I've said this before. One of my pastors said Pastor Danny Green. He says, life moves at the speed of relationships, and I think that's true. When you have quality relationships, everything falls into place for you in your life.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really good thing. But if you can, you kind of touch base on, you're from Chicago. If you can kind of just tell us your life story, kind of, growing up, how it was for you, and up to the point to where you are now.
Okay, ain't no problem. I grew up in a single parent home. My mom and my sister and my aunties and her two daughters who stayed in a one-bedroom apartment for a couple of years. My mom at the time, she's the only one working before she got laid off, maybe about a year or so from AT&T. We moved around a lot when I was little. Moved from Chicago to the suburbs, then back to Chicago. And my grandparents were key roles with me growing up. I would come and spend time with them, and then I would go ahead and stay with my mom on the weekend. And so my dad was active, but he wasn't present all the time because he had to work.
Right.
I think in '84 my grandfather passed away, and I really grabbed hold to my granddad on my mom's side. And that was, I think, when I really developed the love for basketball that year. And that was the first time I ever seen Michael Jordan play. And you know how it is in Chicago. Everybody.
Mike. Wanna be like Mike.
Be like Mike, man. To this day, you still have grown men still want to go out there and play like Michael Jordan, man.
Well, that's not just in Chicago. That's everywhere, though. Everybody want to be like Mike.
Yes, man, you are not lying about that, dude. To further on, I end up staying with my grandparents much more as I got older. My granddad, he really took me up on this wing, and he's the one who really started taking me to church more. My mom did too when I go over there. We all went to the same church. But the consistency of my granddad and him being the example for me as a man really propelled me into that direction. And so we continued to grow, and after that, I started going to my high school. I didn't play high school ball my freshman year. I didn't even play in 8th grade. That's the crazy part, Chip. I didn't even play 7th or 8th grade, man. My parents were too nervous that something might happen or we might get jumped on.
Right.
But they were just being careful, and I couldn't, when I got to high school, I just couldn't take that no more, man. So I tried out my freshman year, and I didn't make it. I got cut. And so it was the second semester of my freshman year in high school. And so there was a sign up by the gym room saying there's a trial for the basketball team. I said, trial? I'm like, the season almost over with. So what happened? Some of the boys fell off the team. And so what I did, I ended up taking advantage because my grades was good. I was passing everything, and I ended up, making the team that year.
That's good.
My granddad was very supportive in that, man. So what he did, he ended up putting us up a court in the backyard.
There you go.
So we ended up playing in the dirt.
Yeah.
We were balling in the dirt, man. Sometimes we had the rim, sometimes we had the crate, but we still was balling.
You found a way, huh?
Man, found a way to perfect the craft, man.
There you go.
And so began to play high school, and it was good. My sophomore year was real good for me. Started to develop my skills and had gotten a lot better. My junior year, I can't say that. My junior year, man, I played 5 games my whole junior year. Because we had a great team, and you have to earn your time.
Right. And what high school did you go to in Chicago?
That's good. I went to Orr High School.
Orr, okay.
Yeah, it's on the west side of Chicago. Chicago's known for King. King is probably the well-known high school for Chicago, or Simeon.
Okay.
They normally have the kids who really probably went to the league, who did well.
Right.
My high school wasn't known, but we were very competitive. And we played against King. We played against Simeons when I was growing up, so it was no different.
Right.
But we got a chance. My senior years, I had a coming out party. It was senior year, and the chips were on my shoulder, right? And so I had to, go out there and make sure I performed like I needed to, every day. And so one game at a Christmas tournament, I hit like 28 points. I had 28 points and 30 rebounds.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I still say wow to this day, man. This against Sherry's High School. We'll never forget that game. One of our guys had got into some trouble and he couldn't play. and it ended up being a career night for me. After that, I wasn't recruited highly coming out of high school. And I think, my faith really played a role in that as far as going to college. It was either go to college or go to the Air Force. That's what I wanted to do. Because I knew my mom, she didn't have the money for me to go to college. And so I ended up going to this combine and doing some work. And I got offered 4 scholarships to 4 junior colleges. And I ended up taking the one who I thought was best fit for me. And I ended up staying there for 2 years. When I was coming up to high school, I didn't know what I wanted to major. My mind was so focused on basketball. Just being honest. So I knew I had to keep my grades up to play, but I was so focused. I'm like, I want to go to the NBA. I want to play. But I had to, make sure I kept my grades up for high school. And so when I got to college, my mindset was like, I'm here in college playing, but I need to keep my grades up. So there was that balance. Mama is always proud to give you the support that you need because she wants you to fulfill your dream. But I always wish that my dad was there to give me the instructions. You feel me?
I understand that.
Yeah, sometimes, and I think that's something that I pride. I know I'm going a little bit too far when I say this.
As a parent, you pride yourself in doing it. Right.
Yeah, dude. You already know, Chip. You already know. Mothers give you that emotional support, but fathers give you that instruction, that guidance.
Yeah, get your butt in line, boy.
Yeah.
Hey.
That's all I needed to hear.
That's it. Yeah.
That's what I needed to hear, man. And it was cool. So I ended up going to Southeastern where I met my good friend and brother, Donnell Harrison.
Yeah.
Who's doing some good work in Dallas, man. He's doing some good work. We ended up playing down there for 2 years, and it was good. First year was okay. Second year was so much better. We had a better team. We had great success. Our coach was Virgil Motsinger, and he really loved us and supported us, man. He was a great guy. He was a great teacher. He was the first coach that I could honestly say that really spent some time with me coaching. As far as me learning the skill and learning about the game and learning how to get better. He was a little freelance, just let us play. Have one set offense and just go, just play. To that effect, I was highly recruited my second year, man. Man, East Carolina, University of San Francisco, University of New Mexico, Maryland, Eastern Shore. So a lot of D1s were recruiting me that year. So what I ended up doing, I signed with New Mexico State that summer. And I signed a letter of intent. Man, was on fire. I'm like, I'm finna fulfill my dream, baby.
It's on.
It's on, dude. So I sat out 1 year. I sat out 1 year, Chip. I don't think I shared that with a lot of people. I sat out 1 year to get my grades straight. And so I was cool, but I needed to take some classes to finish. So, man, went through fall and winter semester, passed the classes. Had to go back to Southeastern to finish. Got back to Southeastern, ended up passing one class, but I ended up failing physics. I needed one science, and physics was the only science that they were offering. And so I was kind of heartbroken. Because I had to, how you go on the trips and you go visit the school. And man, to see it like, man, look, this D1, I'm like steps away from going to the league. I got an opportunity to really do something great. And man, when I missed out, I got kind of depressed, man. So Deshaun called his coach. Coach Cooper. Yes, sir. I love him to death, man. That is my coach, man. I take ownership of him now, boy. I called Coach Coop, and we spoke on the phone, and he offered me a scholarship to come to West Texas. It was no-brainer. All right, let's go. Deshaun is down there. My boy Leroy came. He got recruited, so we like, okay, this is it. We got the big three from Southeastern. We finna do some damage.
And you know what? I didn't know that you and Deshaun had played together. I didn't know that.
Yeah, man, man.
Yeah.
First team, I think it was first team all conference, second team all region. Honorable mention, man. It was, man, Deshaun. I'm serious. If Deshaun would have never called Coach Coop, I would never end up at WT.
Right.
The coach from New Mexico State was such a gentleman, dude. He hooked me up with a school out in South Dakota. To go play ball out there, Division II school, and it was great. But I didn't feel that. I felt more comfortable going to WT. I never been there, but I knew because my friends were there, we were good to go.
Right. It didn't matter what the situation, we were gonna make it great.
Exactly.
and great, y'all did make it.
Yeah, I gotta be honest.
Yes.
My first year, I loved the team. It was just so much happening when I first got there. Nobody knows this. So I get down there the first day, right? So we playing ball, so put on a little show, do a Statue of Liberty, dunking the ball, and everything. And I'm like, yeah, we gonna go. So we start conditioning. Yeah, brother. And I was a little bit out of shape. So I had got up to about 250 at that time. And I was terribly out of shape, man. And so I got there, so we running this stuff. So we did this drill that Coach Cornish did from the pros. And so we got going, and at the last part of it, my legs started shaking. Oh my God. And I'm shaking, man. I'm like, no. And I went to the wall, and Deshaun said, come on, Nelly, push through it. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens. I said, well, I can't do it today.
And you had to pray.
You're going to have to hold me on this one. And so, man, I had to go to the... I know, man. I had to go to the training room. I had to go to the training room and sit out. And I rested, dude, and started drinking some water because my legs were dehydrated. Because I haven't been running like that for a year, man. I was out of shape. And so Coach Cooper made me, when I got finished, get up, I need you to do this and finish. He made me get back out there and run. And I did it. And so we had started the school year off right. We started the season off correct. Christmas time came up, and we were back, and I was happy to be back. And so we had a game at home. We lost terrible. And so I had a meeting with Coach Cooper, Coach Shape, and Coach Cornish. So we're in the office. Man, I don't think nobody knows this story but me. So if I tell it, oh well, people understand what I'm talking about.
There you go.
We're in the office, and Coach is, he's getting on me and saying to me, Donnell, you're not playing hard. You're not rebounding. You're just watching. You're letting the other person cut in front of you. You're doing this. And I got upset, man.
Yeah.
I got upset, and I got up and I just ran out of the office. I said, send me home. That was my exact words. I never did that. Because I made a promise to myself I would never let nobody take me away from my dream, dude.
Right.
And so what happened was Coach Cornish came and got me. And Coach Cornish came and told me, he said, Donnell, the reason he's doing that, he's trying to get you to see what you're doing wrong.
Right.
And at that time, I couldn't see it because I never had a coach get in my face like that.
Right.
Which goes back to almost the father figure.
Exactly. Right.
Right? So that guidance was coming from him. He just guided differently.
Right.
He guided differently. So, and I wasn't used to that. I'm like, oh. And so when I went back to the office, Coach Cooper helped me to really understand, like, Donnell, I just want you to see and go out there and play harder. You got the potential. Coach Cornish was saying, man, when we got you, man, look, we knew we had a chance to win conference and go far. And I couldn't see that, Chip. I promise you I couldn't see that.
But they had the vision, and they saw that in you.
Yeah, brother. And that's something that, man, to this day, Coach Cooper called me and said he need me to come down. I will go.
Right.
Because I thank him so much, bro, that he was willing to take that risk of just, first off, you gave me a full scholarship.
Right.
Man, which is still unheard of probably to this day. And then was saying, know what, I understand. I know what I need to do for you to help you to play harder. And man, after that, The sky was the limit. We ended up finishing, I think, 13-18. Went to the second round of the playoffs. Lost to Tarleton's. Yeah, no, East Texas State. I think it was East Texas. I think that's who it was. Senior year, I was ready then. I was ready. My senior year, I was in shape. My team, the guys that we had came in were
amazing,
dude. I mean, just stellar.
Like JJ Walker, you say dynamite,
dude. And I'm like, man, we came in, and next thing you know, it's on and popping, dude. Our first 15 games, 15-0.
Right.
Best record in WT history, dude.
Right, and the thing that it got me is, like you're even like y'all were deep. I mean, like you're been like it didn't matter who you put on the court.
No.
Like they were gonna get it.
Yeah.
Like I mean, y'all were, and I think one thing that impressed me too was, not only were y'all good, really good basketball players, but y'all played well together. Y'all were fundamentally sound, and y'all just had that, just like y'all just never quit. Like it didn't matter. Like being in the stands watching you guys and run your own. We always had a chance. You knew like it didn't matter what the score was. Like, we always got a chance to win. Like that's our guys out there.
Yeah. We what really helped us out, Chip. One time, I got to be honest when I say this. One time we were playing down in Lubbock. It was playing against mid-major D1, and we went down there. We bust their tail. Coach Cooper still wasn't happy.
Right.
But he was shocked, though. He still wasn't happy, but he was shocked how we was playing. And so we got around, and we got down to pray. We said, Coach, come on, let's pray. And Coach did not pray with us. I know Coach going to be like, why you tell that?
Yeah, why you put me out there like that?
But I'm going to tell you why. What happened? The guys said, come on, let's pray anyway. We all prayed, and from that day, when I say the chemistry was crazy,
right,
it was crazy. Man, we went down to I think it was East New Mexico. We were playing them, and we were down 15 at halftime. We ended up coming back, blowing them by 20.
Right.
And I could tell because the chemistry on the court was like that because of the chemistry off the court.
Right.
Not one guy had a beef with nobody, man.
Right, and you could tell, even like when we all hung out, like you could tell it was truly a brotherhood love.
It was,
and that's what you have to have. I think you have to have that off the court, off the field, in order to have that on the court, on the field.
Right. Right. I think that was what, and it helped. I think I did not want to leave after that year.
Right.
I didn't want to leave, man. We had such a great year, man. We ended up beating the school of Oklahoma. I can't think of
Central Oklahoma. Eddie Robinson,
man. I got that game right now at my house. And it's crazy. They were predicted to win. To go to the Elite Eight. We're not going to let that happen at the box.
Not at the box.
Not at the box.
Hey, I can tell the story. Snow game. It's snowing outside.
Yes.
Traffic is it's bad. People can't get there. But it was nuts, and it came down to the wire. Like I remember, like it was yesterday. Eddie got the ball. A few seconds, he take it down the middle. They're like, no.
No, exactly.
Then we go back and we score. Did Eddie get the ball again? He take it down. He like, no.
Yes, man. And I got to give it to him. Eddie Robinson, their team was a good team.
Oh, yes.
They had a fantastic team. But, because our commitment and the sacrifices we made in the beginning, we didn't care who had like 20, 30, 40, 50. Right. We just wanted to win. And I think because of the selflessness of our team, we were able to do that, dude.
Right.
26-5.
Yeah, and went to the was it Sweet 16?
Elite 8.
Elite 8, yeah.
The Elite 8 in Louisville, Kentucky. Will never forget that for the rest of my life, dude.
Yeah.
And from there, I end up, after I left WT, I came home. I sat out 1 year, and then I got offered to play pro ball. I set out. Yeah, that 1 year really helped me mature. I had my daughter at that time.
Right.
She was just 3 months old when I left WT, man. 3 months,
She
dude.
was born. Yep.
Yeah, my oldest baby now. She's in college. God bless her. God bless her heart. She really motivated me to, I need to get myself together. You got a responsibility, and I take fatherhood very seriously.
Right.
And I always want what's best for my kids. And they know that. Not so much materialistically, but in their life. And I think now, so I ended up playing with this team called the Harlem Ambassadors. Played with them for about a year and a half. Stayed with them, man. We traveled the world, dude.
Right.
I'm serious. Man, been all over the world. Played against some of the pros, the ones that have retired. And man, I gotta think. I'm very thankful to have the opportunity to play with the Ambassadors, dude. People look at playing show basketball as a weak opportunity. I didn't. I looked at it as a stepping stool to the place where I'm trying to go. So I always took that step and had that mentality to say, you know what, this is what I want to do. I want to do this professionally, play pro ball, do all this. And man, getting up, going to speaking to kids, doing promos, doing school visits, it was just a grand thing. And man, to this day, I still know. I speak to the owner. We real good friends. I know his wife. She's in the ministry, and she is doing well. So in 2000, I guess we can get closer to the present. In 2000 is when I first accepted. I started being a minister. While I was playing with the Ambassadors, I knew that it was close to that time because I kept feeling the nudge by God, saying, this is it. It's time for you to do this. And so, and when I left the Ambassadors, I ended up going to Australia for maybe about 4 or 5 months. When I went over there, it was good, but it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. So I ended up coming back. I tried out for Korea, made it to the final cut, but I didn't make it. And so I had to make a decision because my wife was pregnant with my son. And so I ended up making the decision of walking away. And man, when I tell you that was probably one of the hardest things for me to do, it was.
Right.
Because people who knew me, they knew I love basketball.
Love basketball.
Dude, love it. Eat, sleep, drink it.
That's it.
For real. And so I end up, learning and being tutored by my pastor here, Wilson Daniels. And man, at the time, I just felt like, I really didn't. I still wanted to play ball, but I knew I had to do this.
Right.
So I started to really learn from him and learn from the ministers around me. And honest to God, true story. I said, man, I do not want to be around these old preachers. I told him that. Yeah. And I said, 16 years later, I said that was the best place for me to be.
Right.
Around them, because so much wisdom I gained from them, so much understanding and knowledge. I knew it was God that set me up to be with them, man. And even to this day, me and my wife got married in 2000, and we just, end up raising our children, raising our family, man.
Right. So as far as your career now, you say you're a minister now?
Yeah, I'm a minister now. I'm a youth pastor at my church. I've been youth pastor now about 13 years. Love working with the youth, man. They keep me relevant.
Right.
They keep me going. Their motivation, their inspiration, their desire, and just pouring into them, man. I think that's one of the things that happened for me. Somebody made some sacrifices.
Right.
To pour into me. So even to this day, dude, I would not play basketball the way I played if my youth pastor didn't pour it into me. He did, man. I'm serious. I got to be honest here. When I wasn't playing in high school, we had a church league, and that really helped me out a lot. as far as skills and teamwork and all of that. So I was happy with that. So yeah, I'm a minister now. I work at a high school as well. I'm a recruiter for our high school and retention specialist. So I go out to help kids who have dropped out and try to get them back in school so they can get their high school diploma.
Oh, that's awesome. You're talking about discipline. So you're saying that you feel there's a lack of discipline.
Yeah, I think there's a great lack of discipline with this generation. I think we spoiled our kids by giving them everything materialistically, but we didn't give them disciplines to handle it. Right?
It's a society of a lot of information. I mean, you can have a cell phone in your hand and go anywhere in the world.
Exactly. Exactly, bro. I mean, for real.
Yeah.
We had encyclopedias.
Yeah. Now we got Google.
And they got Google, right?
And Siri. Google and Siri.
And Siri.
Yeah.
They put them out of business, man.
Yeah. No more Encyclopedia Britannica.
No more. Exactly. Wikipedia.
Yeah. There it is. So, what are 3 things that you have accomplished in your life that you're proud of?
Marrying my wife, raising my children, and finishing my degree.
Yes. So family, education.
Family, education, and ministry too.
Right.
But just the main things: marrying my wife, raising my children, getting my degree. That's one thing I regret when I left West Texas, that I didn't graduate. In '98. To this day, I just, if anybody asks me, I said that's the regret that I have. Because I went there, I should have went with the mentality saying, okay, let me graduate from college first, then think about playing professional basketball.
Yeah. What is your definition of success?
That's a good question, man. My definition of success would be accomplishing the goals that you set out as a child. So, 2 of them was marked off. The third one I didn't accomplish. So, 2 out of 3 is not bad. So
that's good. That's good odds. That's all right.
That's good odds. 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
And was that other one professional, or was it when you didn't make?
The NBA.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm gonna just tell you. I think the way you do things and the impact that you're making is done in a professional way.
I appreciate that.
So to me, I think you're a pro at that. How about that? and that might be better because now you leave a legacy. Now you touch lives, and it's a ripple effect. Now the people starting with your children. They see that the kids in your church, the kids that you with your attention specialist. I mean that's somebody that now those kids can say, just like you said. My youth pastor, he encouraged me and pushed me to do those things, and now you're doing that. For kids that, so to me, I don't know. That's a big call. You want to weigh them out. I think, I don't know.
And that's grand, man. I appreciate that. I really appreciate, I think, Joel Osteen first.
Yes.
He's very inspirational.
Very.
He's very inspirational, dude. And I really, now, even as a young minister, I really gravitated towards him as far as being inspirational to all.
Yes.
To all generations. My desire is to pastor a multicultural church.
Right.
That's the kingdom is multicultural. It's not just one culture. And so that was one of my desires. What gave me peace about walking away from basketball was this, Chip. One day I was driving and someone asked me, how do I feel about one of my friends, I'm not going to say his name, who made it to the league and I didn't? And I said, well, this is how I look at it now. Which one is greater in the kingdom? $1 million or 1,000,000 souls.
Mm.
And that was the revelation I got. And I had a peace, and I was at peace ever since that day, bro.
Man, you just saying that, it's like I don't know, it's a refreshing statement. I don't know if that's the word to use, but like you're true. I mean, that's right. You touch lives, and that ripple effect. Just glorifying God, and doing it all for Him, not for me. Just
right.
And not doing it to get anything from it.
Right.
But doing it just because that's the right thing to do, and that's what God leads you to do. And so I think definitely, God has been and will reward you in a professional way. Like the pros.
Look at you.
I put it together, huh? I put that together for you, right?
So I'm a pro already.
Yeah, pro. You're a pro joke.
I'm a pro in the kingdom.
There it is.
Pro in the kingdom.
Well, what do you think it takes to achieve success?
Man, you know what? Determination, discipline, and dynamite. I'm just gonna say that. Yeah. Look at you, man. You're too funny. Determination. The reason I say that because remember the odds that we have already been given for us not to make it, even as African Americans. To come out the hood or wherever, there still are odds against us for not coming out of our community.
Right.
And the discipline part is to be able to resist.
Yes.
To resist the temptations that come. When you're trying to reach those goals. So, and the dynamite is for the power within, dude.
Right.
That power on the inside that pushes you past whatever you are faced with, dude. You need that on the inside. It has to be internal. To say what? It's that drive. Maybe I should have used that.
Do you think that dynamite comes from understanding what your why and what your purpose is, and understanding, letting that guide you, to not quit or not give up and just keep pushing? Do you think that comes from that?
I think it does. Maybe the D I should have used was drive.
There you go.
Yeah, maybe that D I should have used.
How about a dynamic drive?
A dynamic drive. Yeah.
There you go. There it is.
Maybe we should start a book and just write that, man.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's right, Chip. We co-author that thing.
There you go.
Send it out, man. I think that's what it is. I can honestly say those D's that I just gave you that was my life.
Right.
I didn't want to be a number in society.
Right.
That drive that I had was, I'm gonna do it if you with me or if you're not with me.
Period. It's done.
It's done. Like This is what I'm doing. You going way to West Texas? You going way to Texas? You ain't never been there. That's what I was saying. Somebody said that to me.
Right.
Somebody in my family said that to me. I'm like, yeah, I'm going. Why are you going so far? I'm like, they're fulfilling my dream.
They gonna pay for my school.
Right, bro. Right.
I'm on the way.
Exactly, man. No, you don't understand. I'm like, no. I said, you got to understand, this is what I need. This is something that I needed to do for myself. This wasn't for you. This is for me.
Right.
Because I was so determined to get out of here. Right. I didn't want to stay in Chicago.
Yeah.
I said, I got to go somewhere and make a name for myself. I didn't care what school I went to as long as I went to. Yeah. Yep.
Well, I really appreciate you interviewing with us. I think your story is an amazing story. I think you're an amazing guy. You can see. I don't know. You may understand this. You know how when you meet people and you've heard people say, "I can see the God in that person." Like, I don't know if just the way they carry themselves or the way they show love or the way they treat people. That was the feeling, what it was when I met you. Back at West Texas in college, and so, just to have that bond and to be able to, I was even fortunate to come visit you in Chicago one time. And so, so just to have that it's great. And so I want to encourage you to keep doing what you're doing, and
appreciate it, brother.
and keep pushing, and know that, you know, just like you said, you're the souls. You're saving the souls.
That's right.
You know,
That's
not,
right,
not
man.
about the millions of souls, not millions of dollars. And I like that analogy. And keep up the great work. Well, thank you all for joining us with the Success Chronicles. See you next time. God bless.